Hello, everybody, and welcome to this first Spanish lesson for beginners. The idea is record a certain number of videos so you can learn the basics of the Spanish grammar, and all these videos will be accompanied by some exercises and some activities that you can do to practice everything that we see. Without further ado, let's begin. I'm going to share my screen so you see my screen and I can explain everything to you. You should be seeing my screen at the moment, and now you should be seeing our whiteboard. Today we are going to focus on Spanish nouns because they are very important, and because unlike some other languages, they are slightly different in the Spanish language. Why are they different? Because all Spanish nouns will have a gender. They will always be either masculine or feminine. And it's quite important that we are able to recognize if a noun is masculine or feminine. How do we do it? First of all, let me tell you that there is not an easy way to do it, because the rule that we have is not very reliable. So there will be so many exceptions that the best do we can do is use the rule for now, but get to know all those words that are different or all those exceptions, because we will come across many. But what does the rule say? Words ending with an O tend to be masculine. Examples. Let me think. Cuchillo. That's a fork. Ends with an O, it's masculine. Or armario. That's a wardrobe or a cupboard. Ends with an O, masculine. And normally most words ending with an O tend to be masculine. What other endings are normally masculine? Consonants. Any word ending with a consonant tend to be masculine. Examples. Tren. That's a train. Ends with an N, it's masculine. Or papel, paper. Ends with an L, that's a consonant, it's masculine. There are some exceptions, as I said before, but this is what the rule says. Feminine words. How do we recognize a feminine word? A is the most common ending for a feminine word. Plenty of examples. For example, casa, house, ending with an A, feminine. Or manta, that's a blanket, ending with an A, feminine. Or, let me think, ventana, window, ending with an A, feminine. There are plenty of examples. Other endings that tend to be feminine are longer endings. For example, words ending with C-I-O-N tend to be feminine. For example, habitación, that's a bedroom. See the C-I-O-N ending? That tells you that it's feminine. Or canción, that's a song. And see the C-I-O-N ending? It's a feminine word. And there are many more examples. Also, words ending with D-A-D, that D-A-D is a common feminine ending. And again, you have loads of examples. For example, universidad, that's university. Can you see the DAD ending? Feminine word. Or for example, comunidad, community, feminine. More endings that tend to be feminine. For example, words ending with sion, S-I-O-N, tend to be feminine. And the most popular example I can think of is televisión, TV. And there are some other endings, but they are less common. What about words ending with a final E? Are they masculine or are they feminine? Well, they can be both masculine or feminine. Final E, it's always going to be a guessing. So, for example, let me think. Guante, that's a glove. That is masculine. El guante. But some of the words ending with an E will be feminine. So with the final E, you never know. You just need to get to know them and memorize those words one by one. That's why from now on, since day one, I think a good idea would be to create your own flashcards with your Spanish words, with the equivalent in your language, English, and also the gender of every word. So you remember if they're masculine or feminine. Let's move on. Let's keep talking about nouns, but now let's talk about, instead of gender, let's talk about number. What's number? It's if a word, if a noun, it's a single or plural. You have in your own language single and plural nouns, but probably we do it differently. How do we turn a single word into a plural? Let's use as an example, for example, the word mesa, table. How do I turn that single word into a plural word? Well, in that specific case, the word ends with a vowel, so I will only add an S, mesas. What about if I change the word? What if I use a different word? For example, a word ending with a consonant. For example, tren, train. Do I still add an S? Trends? I'm afraid not. I have to add an ES. So, summing up, let's say that to turn a word single into plural, there are two different ways of doing it in Spanish. If the single word ends with a vowel, we only need to add an S. But if the word ends with a consonant, we will add an ES. So after this lesson, you should be able to recognize if a word is masculine or feminine. And if it is single, you should be able to turn that word into plural. So let me give you 2 or 3 examples and see if you can do it. You can do it along with me. For example, let me use the word teléfono. Would that be masculine or feminine? That is masculine, isn't it? Because it ends with an O. And that's a single word. That's one phone. How would I make it plural? S or ES? Well, it ends with an O. That's a vowel. So I only need to add an S. Teléfonos. Let me give you another one. For example, let me look around me. Okay. Camisa. That's a shirt. Masculine or feminine? Feminine for sure. It ends with an A. It's feminine. It's the typical a feminine word. Single or plural? Single, just one shirt. How do I turn that single word into a plural? S or ES? Well, it ends with an A, which is a vowel, so I only need to add an S. Camisas. A different one. Universidad. University. Masculine or feminine? Remember that the ending DAD is a feminine word always? So that would be feminine. And how do I turn that single word, university, into universities? Well, the word ends with a D, which is a consonant. So I need to add an ES, universidades. I hope this video has been helpful, and using this video you can revise, and if you have forgotten how to do it, you can watch it again as many times as you want. And of course, this video will be accompanied, it will come with plenty of practice. So I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.